Hello everybody, welcome back to BTD6. Today we're going to be doing a boss event. I don't know, it may seem weird. Why would you do the boss event when it's, when you have boss challenge? Well, I'm not going to spoil the rules, but let's just say that this week's boss event is it's very interesting. Now you may be noticing at this point in time that the music that is playing in the background is not your very normal music, and I want to know your thoughts on that. If you prefer having, not the normal music in the background, have, like background music that I add in post, or if you just want to have the normal BTD6 playlist that I normally have going. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Cannot tell you how long it took me to get this fourth and final farm spot. It's like these two have to be like perfectly placed. It's like pixel perfect, and it's so annoying. Now, those of you who use the nerfed Monkeyopolis, because it's not as good as it once was, but for those of you who still use the Minneapolis today, you might know this little setup that I've got going here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going for the Minneapolis. And now I know it may seem ridiculous because, the Minneapolis, the base farm Minneapolis was nerfed. And it was nerfed, yes. However, because of the deficit, because the base is 250 to help making Minneapolises. Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the deficit, because farms are only 1040 on easy mode here, so I'm going to be abusing that here to go for a small Minneapolis even before the boss. And believe it or not, this little doohickey right here, this thing will make us so much money. Look at the amount of HP that Bloonarius has. This is just tier 1. He has 150,000 HP. And now you can kind of see why we're going for mad just for the first tier here. Because, well, if we're not going to go for a mad for the first tier, we're basically guaranteeing ourselves a loss. And obviously, we need something to deal with the insides, because the mad he'll chew through this first tier relatively fast. We're going to go for 1 at the current moment, and we're going to work towards 2 as we work through this first boss tier. But just with this setup right here, you can kind of see how tanky this week's boss is and why I wanted to make a video on it. So tier 1 has gone down, and I actually used all the money that I got from selling stuff to actually go for a 5th tier farm here, and some people may find that weird. But for this week, going for a 5th tier farm is actually kind of necessary for tier 2, because, well, I'm sure you might have been able to piece it together, but Bloonarius has 300% more HP. And I'm sure you can imagine that with that amount of HP, tier 2 is going to be a doozy. So much so that not even a mad will be able to take care of it. Here we go with tier 2. Tier 2 is coming out this very next round. And if you see this setup right here, you may have an inkling of what we're going to do here. Look at this health. We're not killing that with just a mad and, some overclocking. So we've got to really step up our game to the point where we have to straight up go for a Paragon for tier 2. Just basic Paragon, no extra money put into it, because he's not going to last very long. He's simply here for tier 2, and then he's going to be sold right away. But you can kind of see why this week I wanted to make a video on it, because let's just say that this week is going to go wild, because ceramic health is doubled, Moab health is doubled. The boss, Bloonarius himself, is slightly slower. He's only at 90% speed instead of 100% speed. But he has 300% extra health. And oh boy, is that a problem. Because if it's not a problem, then you are truly built different. Now with tier 2 down, we sell the Dart Paragon because we don't need him. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 Crossbow Master, just so he can defend, really. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something that we don't normally do, because there's not a lot of farming space on this map. We overclock the farm, and then we go for a Monkeyopolis. Yes, going for a Monkeyopolis is very rare nowadays because, well, the Monkeyopolis, it's not that good. And the nerf that Ninja Kiwi hit it with was too much, and it completely just destroyed the Monkeyopolis to where it's no longer, like, good at this point. Like, I would go so far as saying that getting the Monkeyopolis is an active detriment for most boss events, unless you go for the one farm Miniopolis that I went for in this video. Now, if you know this setup, this is 100% a Paragon setup. However, I'm going to not only do the sacrifices, but put as much money as I can into this Paragon. Because this Paragon, he's 64, which is really good. However, this is not all that we need, because look at the amount of health this man has. And look at how little damage we're doing. So we're going to need a little bit of help in order to take down this 6 million health just for tier 3. Now, tier 3 has gone down, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a similar setup. However, I have my ninjas here. For the Ninja Paragon, I have the Ninja Paragon spot, which is basically the Grand Sceptor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get as many ninjas as I can on the screen. And I'm going to go for a Ninja Paragon for tier 4. So the setup, once again, might look familiar. But what we're going to do is we're going to go for a Paragon here. And we're going to put as much money as we can into this guy. He should be like 50s or 60s. Yeah, 50s or 60s, right around there. Which is a pretty good Paragon level, however. But I'm going to send out the next tier here. 24 million. So when I let that sink in, you know. This should be the entire tier. He is going to go down really slowly, obviously, you know, he's on Skull 2. But this is good, because this allows all 3 of the aces to collect pops off of this egregiously tanky Bloonarius. So tier 4 has gone down. He went down right around here where these little acid petals are. But I'm going to meet you back at tier 5 when, obviously, we have more money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply cut ahead until, you know, I have the defense all nice and set up. It shouldn't be too bad, especially with the amount of money that we got. We're going to get a really high ace degree here. But I'll meet you back when I set up the defense. The highest degree Paragon, believe it or not, is the Dart Paragon, followed by the ace and then the ninja. The ninja's probably going to get the most amount of pops here. Wait, no, I said that wrong. The ace is going to get the most amount of pops, obviously, because he's the ace Paragon. But here we go. 120 million health for tier 5. Again, this is completely vanilla. This is not modded at all. This is the actual boss event for this week. And it's wild, and I love it. I'm getting a little worried here on the tail end of this boss because it's round 30, it's round 136, and if you don't know boss events, it ends at round 140. And if I get to round 140 and Bloonarius is still alive here, then that's GG. That's the end of it. 120 million health Bloonarius taken down. But that is all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all of that good YouTuber stuff that happens at the end of every video. And I'll see you next time.